Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Elliot Webber, and in today's video, well, for once it's not an announcement video. In fact, it's not even BTCC related, because for the first time this year on this channel I can finally say it is race week. Yes, that is right, but not for the British Touring Car Championship. It is race week for the 2023 TCR UK season, and I thought, why don't I give everyone a little bit of a preview ahead of this weekend's opening races at Snetterton. So let's get straight into this. Now, before we start talking about this year's season, let's talk about the ending to last year's season of the 2022, of course, the 2022 TCR UK Championship. Now, of course, that finale is like the opening round. It was at Snetterton in what was a very, very, very wet weekend. I was there that finale weekend. I had to change my clothes by how wet it was that weekend, but still, it was an excellent finale. There were 7 drivers in with a shout of the championship. However, realistically, it was looking like it was going to be between Isaac Smith and Chris Smiley for the championship. Of course, both of those two were rookies last year in 2022. Chris Smiley, of course, moving over from the British Touring Car Championship. Regular viewers will know, of course, then who Chris Smiley is. Some people before TCR might not have heard of Isaac Smith. He did, in fact, also race on the British Touring Car Championship support package in the Mini Challenge for a few years. He then moved over to TCR UK in a VW Golf GTI, the same VW Golf that Dan Lloyd won his TCR Championship in. So a lot of people were sort of expecting Chris Smiley to run away with it. He didn't. We had many race winners over the course of the year. Names, of course, do include Chris Smiley, Jack Constable, who is a series regular, Bruce Winfield, who was in his second year last year, of course, and also the likes of Lewis Kent, the 2-time champion, and his younger brother, Bradley Kent, who unfortunately had some incredible bad luck, but we'll talk about him in a sec. Some names also include Max Hart, who had some of the worst luck in the last few races, in fact missing the final round after leaving his team just before the final round. But now let's just talk about Chris Smiley and Isaac Smith. Both of those two had an incredible championship fight and an incredible multi-lap battle on the final race of the year. It was incredible watching those two go side by side in the rain, almost reminiscent to Jason Plato and Matt Neal many years ago at Snetterton. I'm sure a few people will remember that battle. But yeah, of course, Chris Smiley, luckily for him, Chris Smiley came out on top in his Honda Civic Type R. A brilliant rookie year for him. He took 2 wins over the course of the season, and then, one race won in that finale to take his championship. A brilliant feat by him and the Restart Racing guys, and also Yas Motorsport, who developed that Honda for them. So yeah, and now let's get into the 2023 preview. Finally, we can talk about this year, and we're starting it off with Chris Smiley. He is back, of course, this year. He will carry the number 1 in his Honda Civic, but he will not be in the FK8. He this year will be using the brand new FL5 Civic this year in a brilliant livery, I must say. I really cannot wait to see that car this weekend in the flesh. And this time he has a teammate. He's partnered by Scott Sumpton, who will be starting his second season in TCR UK, making the switch from Essex and Kent Motorsport in the Hyundai to a Honda Civic. So he's swapping a Korean H for a Japanese H, you could say. As for the lineup of Restart Racing, I think this is very good. Of course, Chris Smiley, we know how good he is from his escapades in BTCC, and of course, an incredible rookie year last year. So I think Chris Smiley will once again be in that championship fight, and I will not be surprised if he wins a race this weekend. In fact, of course, I can see him winning many races over the course of the year. As for Scott Sumpton, he had a fairly good rookie year. He had a few top 10s and scored multiple points over the course of last year. It seemed like he was just getting used to TCR, but I feel like this year should be much better, in my opinion. I think that Honda will be better than the Hyundais this year, even though we have got a few Hyundais this year compared to the 2 Hondas. Of course, I should also point out Scott will not be using the FL5. He will be using the previous shape FK8 Civic. However, he has also got a completely, well, Not a completely brand new car. Restart Racing bought this car from the Brutal Fish team from TCR Europe. So it's not entirely brand new, but it is fairly new. A brilliant livery on both cars, I must say, as well. So expect both of those Hondas to be up there. As for Essex and Kent, one of the most prominent teams on the TCR grid, of course, they have competed in every single TCR season. Lewis Kent, the two-time champion, is not on the grid this year. It is rumoured that he is aiming to race in the Mini JCW Challenge. So if Lewis Kent is watching this, I wish you all the best wherever you go next. But Bradley Kent is back. Bradley Kent once again is back, an official Hyundai Junior driver as well this year for him. So of course Essex and Kent and Brad Kent both backed by Hyundai this year. He is of course now driving the Hyundai Veloster this year, so he's swapping the i30N for the Veloster. Brad Kent as well, I really hope his reliability issue that Essex and Kent have sorted out his reliability issues that he had last year, because realistically Brad Kent should have been in that title fight. He should have won a race, and it was very surprising to not see him on the podium last year. So hopefully Brad and Essex and Kent have sorted out the reliability issues for Brad, because Bradley Kent is someone who is an incredible talent, possibly one of the big stars of TCR UK. So yeah, hopefully Brad Kent can once again return to the top spot. As for some old school names, of course, Chris Smiley, we know has moved from BTCC to TCR, and Alton Hills as well was someone who did that in 2022 in Jam Sports Subaru. But he is not the only name making the switch from BTCC to TCR, because a huge, well, not a huge blast from the past, but a blast from the past no less. Rick Kerry will be making his TCR UK debut this year in a Cupra Leon for his own team, AMF Racing, the same team that he raced with in BTCC many years ago. Over 15 years ago was when Rick Kerry made his appearance in the BTCC using a diesel-powered BMW. From my memory, I cannot remember the exact make, but I'll put a picture up on screen, which was, I believe, the first ever diesel-powered touring car. So a sort of a history maker for Rick Kerry. Whether he can make history this year, who knows? In pre-season testing at Media Day, he was very on the pace. Did, of course, a lot of wet laps at Donington Park on Media Day. As for Rick, so for someone like Rick Kerry, I think possible top 10s. But again, who knows with TCR. TCR is a championship where you can just jump in and be on the pace. But wishing the best for Rick Kerry. Hopefully he can learn the ropes fairly easily, and who knows, we might even see him win a couple of races. As for more previous names coming back, we of course also have some new names, of course returning names, but we also have some brand new cars this year. Hyundai are bringing their brand new Elantra to the UK for the first time, of course. Along with the FL5 Civic, we of course now have the Hyundai Elantra making its UK debut. It was originally meant to be driven by Jamie Tonks with Area Motorsport, but now it looks like another rookie, Luke Sargent, will be making his racing debut in that car. Area Motorsport, sort of a recent team to enter TCR. Of course, they ran Bruce Winfield in 2020 and in 2021. They are doing the same with him in a Hyundai i30N this year. But they are, of course, also using an Elantra. It looks like it's now going to be driven by Luke Sargent instead of Jamie Tonks. Quite a shame, because the livery at the Autosport show that Jamie Tonks revealed was absolutely awesome. The black and gold, very Lotus and almost rich energy, like you could say. I honestly, I don't know much about Luke Sargent, so I can't really comment on him. But all I can say, I do think that Elantra will be very quick. Of course, a car that won Mikel Ascona his 2022 World Touring Car Championship. So if that car can win in the Worlds, I'm sure it will definitely win in the UK. Speaking of Bruce Winfield, of course, I mentioned he is back with Area Motorsport in a Hyundai i30N, swapping out his Cupra at the end of last year. A completely brand new car as well for him. I think he'll do well. Of course, we know how quick that Hyundai is in every single TCR series. It seems to be either winning races or winning championships. Just ask Lewis Kent. As for Bruce Winfield, no doubt I can see him being a championship contender. Once again, he's been quick in every single year he's raced in TCR. Of course, we've only seen him for 2 years in TCR, but I'm sure a third year, yeah, 100% I can see Bruce Winfield in the championship fight. Another man I can probably see in the championship fight is Jack Constable, another name returning to TCR in 2023. But this time he is not with Power Max Racing. They are not on the entry list this year, so it looks like it's just full focus on BTCC for Power Max. But Jack Constable, 100% I can see him being up there. Of course, he is joining the brand new team, Rob Boston Racing, a team very prolific on the touring car Toka package for many years. But now they're doing their escapades into TCR with Jack Constable, proven race winner, proven championship contender in TCR. Of course, not only that, a Ginetta champion many years ago as well. So can Jack Constable win races? Potentially. It depends on how well he will delve with the brand new Audi RS3 LMS, the 2021 shape Audi RS3 LMS. Yeah, it really depends, because that Audi, it's a completely brand new car to the UK. Of course, it's won races elsewhere in TCR championships, in Europe, in the World Touring Car Championship as well. But again, it's a huge unknown this year. It's going to be really unpredictable this season, probably more unpredictable than last year. So yeah, how will Jack Constable and Rob Boston Racing get on? Again, I don't know, but I can definitely see race wins. That Audi does look really quick. So yeah, and Jack Constable, we know, is a very quick driver, so expect him to be back up there. And that's not the only Audi we'll see. We will see 3 more of those 2021 shape Audi RS3 LMSs, with Paul Shared Racing having 3 of them, with Joe Marshall, Gary Townsend, and the young 16 or 17-year-old Oliver Cotton making his TCR debut, moving up from the Ginetta GT5 Challenge. As for those 3, we sort of already know how well Joe Marshall and Gary Townsend are. They, of course, previously raced in the Ginetta GT4 Super Cup last year. So can I see them being on the pace straight away? Probably not, as they're moving from rear-wheel drive GTs to front-wheel drive touring cars. So I don't expect them to be up there straight away, but I'm sure they will definitely have some points finishes, and who knows, maybe even a podium if TCR are continuing their reverse grids from last year. If they are, then please let me know in the comments below. As for Oliver Cotton, again, I haven't heard of him before making this video, so I apologise. But he seemed quick in the Ginetta GT5, so I'm sure he'll be up there. He's very young, so he has got a lot to learn. He's younger than me. Wow, that makes me feel old a little bit. But yeah, I wish Paul Shed Racing the best of luck. Of course, they have raced in TCR before. I can't remember when. I probably should have done my research before this video. So yeah, and not only that, a few names that were at Media Day but have yet to be announced. There will be 3 more announcements this week before the opening round. Of course, Adam Shepherd was there, a race winner from last year, a brilliant rookie year he had. Dan Kirby was there, potentially making his TCR return, and Jack Mitchell was also there in a Hyundai. It is expected that those 3 will be the announced 3 this week. Adam Shepherd, very familiar with him. His company has worked on my dad's car, so hello Shepherd Motors. I met Adam's mum, Debbie, as well, so yeah, hi Debbie if you're watching this. A nice team, everyone there is very nice, and I wish Adam the best of luck, and I really hope they can have their issue sorted out, because Adam is a very quick driver and I do expect him to be in that championship fight again. As for Dan Kirby, well, he is swapping his old Cupra that he raced in 2020 and 2021 for the brand new competition Cupra Leon, I believe it's, or Competición, because it's of course Spanish company, so I might have to put the accent on that. A lot of those Cupras are about. Carl Baldley as well was making his TCR debut, swapping BTCC for TCR in a Zest Motorsports run at Cupra Leon, a ton of those Cupra Leons, so I expect some of those Cupras to be up there. Callum Newsham as well, he's also back, but this time swapping a Cupra for a Hyundai, expecting to win some races as well this year. A ton of drivers this year, probably should have done a list. So yeah, now let's just do some Snetterton predictions. Oh man, it's going to be hard to predict. I think Chris Smiley will most likely take pole position. But again, how quick is that FL5? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows other than the few people that have tested that car already. But I do expect Chris Smiley to be on the podium at some point this weekend. I can definitely see Adam Shepherd being up there, Brad Kent as well being up there, some of the familiar faces. Will we see any of the rookies be up there? Again, a huge unknown. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. What are your predictions ahead of the opening round of the 2023 TCR UK season this weekend at Snetterton? I will be there this weekend as well. I will be at Snetterton. Hopefully, it's not as wet as it was in October. So yeah, if you do see me around, be sure to say hello, and yeah, and hopefully we'll get some race drivers on for some interviews. I'd love to interview a few more drivers this year throughout TCR and BTCC, so who knows. But yeah, of course, if you are new around here, be sure to like this video, share with your mates as well, because it does help my channel grow, and of course, please press that subscribe button, because we are firmly on the road to 200 subscribers. I would very much like 200 subscribers before the BTCC season starts, so we only have just a few weeks to hit that target. Who knows? I'd very much like 200 by the start of the TCR championship season, but that seems very unlikely. If you are new to my channel, of course, this is the first time in over a year I'm making a video about TCR. So if you are new to this channel, hello, I'm Elliot Webber. I said that at the start. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.